Hi, my name is Steven.
It is I, Kevin.
And I am David, the eldest champion.
And we are the Brothers Born.
We invite you to bear witness as this most unlikely of throwdowns is about to commence.
Welcome back to the Unlikely Throwdowns. The three original participants are back, ready for another matchup. I get to be the judge today. David, me, I'm back on top. I've won my last two throwdowns. If you remember last time I was judge, it was right after I hit a 2 throwdown losing streak, but I'm back on top. So I really don't care who wins. I'll be unbiased. I'm ready to hear about both your characters. Let's do this.
I love how David always just like he has one victory. He's like, I'm on top. I'm the best. I'm the greatest.
I had two in a row.
You ever see those memes where it's like the guys like, you have like first place, third place, second place, whatever. You have, then like the guy in the very bottom is like with the champagne and all that stuff. That's David.
But it's not me because I won my last two. Anyways,
I've lost a lot lately, so I'm ready to win with my character.
All right, I will take
bribes. What you want?
So Kevin beat me last time, I believe.
So that means you have to go first.
All right. Well, my character is an entrepreneur. He's an engineer and a proprietor for his company. He first appeared in a 1964 children's novel by Roald Dahl.
Willy Wonka.
Yes. Willy Wonka it is.
How are you going to do anything with Willy Wonka besides make chocolate?
So
yeah, I feel bad for you now. Okay, go ahead.
He has been portrayed in film twice, once in 1971 and again in 2005. First by Gene Wilder, then Johnny Depp.
There's a new one coming out.
This holiday season, he's going to be portrayed by the one and only Timothée Chalamet. He's also been on stage in cartoons and video games. And if you didn't guess it by now, I was going to say he's the founder of a candy company.
Does he ever fight though?
Sometimes it's not about fighting, where it's about other things, and we'll see how it goes today.
I do like chocolate.
I'll give you a little bit about his story, a little bit.
Yes, his story.
Hey, I never made that connection. That's cool.
Yeah, that's not like where that word comes from, but
I know, but it's still cool though. Shut up! It's not your turn yet. Dot points from Kevin.
Willy Wonka had a pretty complicated relationship with his father. His father was a dentist and didn't permit him to eat candy, and instead put braces on him. Oh man. Anyways, he secretly ate candy once, and his world changed forever. He ran away from home and pursued a career in making candy. Eventually, he had a falling out with his father because of this, but eventually he reconciled with him. This is in the Johnny Depp movie, I believe. But yeah, Willy Wonka, sure, he's not powerful, but he's dang smart, and we're going to get into that. But first, go ahead, Kevin.
Wasn't his father Count Dooku from Star Wars?
Could be. I can't remember.
His father,
I think it was the same actor. I might be wrong.
You might have a little bit more going.
He's also
for you.
Saruman in Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
Oh, you might have more going for you. You're not talking about the real characters. You're just talking about the actor that played him.
Yes.
And
well,
I think
he counts it anyway. So his father is Count Dooku and Sarabon.
Sarabon?
Isn't that what you said?
Saruman? Dude, you've read Lord of the Rings before me.
Saruman. Right. Sarabon is a type of Baroque dance.
I feel like I wish I would have picked a less powerful character now, so this would have been more evenly matched, but okay. All right, so my character, I've got a lot of background on him, but also not any background on him at the same time. So you guys should be familiar with this individual. So he grew up like in the 1970s or so. Early on, he was diagnosed with a mental illness, possibly paranoid schizophrenia and multiple personality disorder, but it's never really specified what it is. He was raised with his younger sister and brother, who were twins, and his mother was a French actress. His father was a sculptor for a movie special effects company, made masks and things of that sort. His home was described as being broken, and his father is very temperamental and possibly abusive. So,
and both these characters have bad fathers.
He ran away from home at a very young age, committing an unknown series of crimes. Not really sure what they are, possibly murder. Later, he became a mercenary and an assassin, as well as a member of an unknown government agency while working under the name of Amuri Sanderson. During this time, he went into a top secret French genetic experiment, giving him abilities, which I will describe at a later time. Any clues yet?
Is it a G.I. Joe character?
Possibly.
Is it Cobra Commander?
Not Cobra Commander, no. While taking part in a business transaction with a wealthy arms dealer.
Destro.
Nope, not Destro either. No, that is the arms dealer. He met with a leader of a brutal biker gang, which he joined, and was
Zartan.
Zartan, yep.
Huh. Zartan from G.I. Joe.
Zartan from G.I. Joe.
Interesting.
Yeah, man.
Zartan.
I don't know. I think I have a better chance than you think here. He's just a man. So. He's just a man. He's not like he's not a superhero. He's not like a magical user. I don't know. Just a man.
Anyway. So anyways, both these characters have fathers that kind of were jerks.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. And so like, so I didn't finish my whole thing, but basically, after he joined like this biker gang, some of the members were like, "Hey, you should overthrow the leader," which he does. And then, of course, he starts working for. He doesn't exclusively work for Cobra Commander. He could. I mean, he works with him often, but doesn't exclusively work for him. And then, one of his early missions as an assassin was to assassinate the leader of a ninja clan, a powerful ninja clan, named the Hardmaster. No, named the Hardmaster.
Oh,
and then he was also an apprentice sword maker during that time.
Huh.
Yeah, master of hard, maker of swords.
There it is. See, David, you got too many good one-liners. I have to use you every time.
Well, that's my thing.
It's interesting. I remember Zartan. So he has some connections to Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow, as I recall, in that story. So
it's just from that one mission. He was hired by a Cobra Commander because Cobra Commander and Snake Eyes have a rivalry of sorts. Yeah. And so Zartan was hired to try to kill Snake Eyes, but did not kill Snake Eyes. Accidentally, he killed the Hardmaster instead. Yeah.
All right. Well, that sounds great. I want to show you why Willy Wonka can stand a chance, and let's do that after a quick little break.
A wise man once said, "Cash rules everything around me. It's all about the money. Dollar bills, y'all." Now, the Brothers Born are definitely not part of the Wu-Tang Clan. But the sentiment, well, it's still true. When it comes down to it, making the content that we do can have some costs when it comes to equipment and certain fees. This is where you come in as a listener. No obligation here, but if you do like what we have and you would like to contribute a little bit of funds our way so we can improve our content, there's 3 different tiers of payment which you can use. The first one is a simple, cheap tier of 99 cents. Not too bad. Next tier would be $4.99, or if you're straight ballin', $9.99 for the third tier. Now, there's no obligation here. We're going to do the content either way, but we definitely would appreciate a little help. Thank you in advance, and we look forward to providing more content for you.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Now that we know a little bit about these 2 characters that are going to participate in this throwdown, let's see what advantages both of them may have and what abilities they can add to the table in this epic battle. Steven,
yes,
go ahead.
All right. Well, Willy Wonka is educated, very smart man. He's like an engineer, so he can build things like no one's ever seen before. Thus, the chocolate factory. In that same vein, he's a master planner. I would say he came up with this whole scheme about how he was going to give his chocolate factory to the next person by putting the golden tickets into things, and like he orchestrated this whole contest, and he also put these kids through these different trials just to weed out any like impurities because he wanted the best kid to run his factory. He has an army of Oompa Loompas, and I know that's kind of I don't consider
I'll
that.
allow it.
I don't consider that like extra support. Like sometimes we don't count the extra support, but the Oompa Loompas are essentially part of Willy Wonka.
Yes.
He's a very witty person. He has a lot of great quotes. They're more funny and like funny quotes than anything, but they're pretty cool. And with that, this isn't really helping the throwdown bit. I was watching some of the clips. He's kind of a jerk, actually. He's not a very nice guy to the kids or their parents. He says
No.
some things to them. They're just like, whoa, he's kind of a tool. But he also,
how's he not arrested for the things that he did to those kids?
but he like, but
He's Willy Wonka, man.
but I think because he has to be kind of like one of those guys. He's like he's a funny jerk, you know, but he has to because he's trying to like build his company and stuff.
Cynical. Yes.
He has a cane, so there you go. That's
Oh, he does have a
That's
weapon.
it. That's the end right there. He's got a cane.
He's got a cane. And I want to talk a little bit more about his candies and chocolates and things. But before I get into that, I do want to hear what Kevin has to say about Zartan because I don't have a whole lot, and I want to be able to use some. I have some stuff in my arsenal here, so go ahead.
I will say Zartan is leader of the Dreadnoks, and they are known for their affinity towards like chocolate donuts and
being dumb
and grape soda. So, I mean, maybe he made the chocolate for the chocolate donuts, and now he's mad because his Dreadnoks are all fat. I don't know, but anyway,
Wait, the Dreadnoks are
It
actually
is.
the kids that went the other kids that went through the chocolate factory.
I mean, who knows? Maybe they are, but he does have a whole bunch of them. Like he's got. I mean, you see the main one's in a cartoon, but in comic book stuff, he's got more than that. And they all have their own sort of mentality. But you know, they're like a biker gang. I think a biker gang
Plus,
takes
he has
Oompa Loompas.
He has a boss brother and sister too, doesn't he?
Yeah, so they're not really that much different than the rest of the Dreadnoks, honestly.
He's
Anyways,
a smart one,
I
surrounded
thought
by
the
idiots.
sister
Well, well, that's true. Zarana's pretty smart.
was kind of
And I was just getting to some of his abilities here. I think one of the most, useful abilities he has here is he's a master of disguise and a ventriloquist. He's also a polyglot, which means he can speak multiple languages. In fact, he can speak over 20 different languages and dialects. So he's very smart. He can perfectly mimic another person's voice and look. He has the ability to alter his skin to blend in with his environment as a result of genetic experimentation.
I do remember the toy. His brother. I had his brother, and the toy did that too.
Yep. And his dreadlocks also use a lot of advanced holographic technology to disguise themselves and their equipment. So he could be anybody. You never know if he's around or not. He could disguise himself as like some random kid or something. And then, Willy Wonka could be like, "Yeah, I'm making chocolate." Blah, 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 blah. And then Zartan's like, "Yo." And then he kills him. I don't know. I don't know why he would assassinate Willy Wonka. I'll be perfectly honest. But, if someone wanted Willy Wonka to be dead and need to hire an assassin, Zartan would definitely be a good person to go to for that.
Huh. Master of Disguise is pretty baller.
So far, I've heard a lot of interesting character traits from both your characters. I used the word character a lot that time. But I haven't really heard anything that's going to do anything in a battle. I mean,
yeah,
disguising, good. Making lots of plans, good. In fact, I bet the Oompa Loompas and Zartan probably could look similar. I bet he could disguise himself as Oompa Loompa, but I don't see any kind of like, how's the battle begin? What can they do in battle?
So Willy Wonka, because he's a master engineer and very smart, like I mentioned before, he has a factory full of traps, puzzles, and imagination. So what I'm going
is true.
Pursue here is, although.
So why would Zartan want to sneak up on him in that factory?
So I'm just saying, there's a lot of, although Zartan he is a master of disguise. Yes, he'd have to get through this like Home Alone-esque, masterful Home Alone-esque factory puzzle trap place. There's lots of things that could kill him. He could fall in a river of chocolate. He could, and there's lots of other cool machines and things it makes it tricky to navigate the factory unless you really know where you're going. You can easily get lost in there and find yourself injured. So I think that alone is going to make it difficult for Zartan to get to Willy Wonka.
I don't know that's necessarily true, because he is I mean, he can perfectly mimic anybody, basically. But on top of that, unlike Willy Wonka, he actually has some combat abilities. He's considered an acrobat.
Yes, I want to hear about this.
So he's an acrobat and a contortionist. So he has his incredible agility. He's very easily can move around. He's a very agile individual. He's practitioner of several like mystical martial arts. He like to include like working with the same ninja clan that Snake Eyes was a part of. He's an expert. Yeah, because that's part of his disguise.
Hard Master?
Zartan is not the Hard Master.
Okay, I thought that was related somehow, the Hard Master to that thing.
Well, the Hard Master is in charge. It was the one in charge of the clan.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but he infiltrated. He actually infiltrated as a sword maker, which is why he was an apprentice sword maker for a while. Anyways,
has he ever made a sword for Storm Shadow or Snake Eyes?
What?
Has he ever made a sword for Storm Shadow or Snake Eyes?
He actually made Snake Eyes' sword.
Oh, that's cool. I did not know that.
Okay.
So he is also an expert bow marksman. So he's really good with bow and arrow.
Bow.
He also, in addition to that, like he has an advanced bow because he has access to all his technology, right? So he has this, he has a bow and arrow that assists in homing in on specific targets based off
like Hawkeye's bow,
kind of. But his can home in on specific targets based on their vital signs. So like it reads their heart rate and their vital signs, and it's like, oh, that's this person.
That's a handy thing, man.
I know exactly.
That's a pretty cool weapon. It's like a Fitbit bow.
If Wonka bathed himself in chocolate or jumps in a river of chocolate,
I will say
it would hide his vital signs because of the thickness of the chocolate.
I will say that is kind of why he ended up killing the Hard Master instead of Snake Eyes, is because at the time the Hard Master was using a technique to mimic Snake Eyes' vital signs, and so the bow shot him instead of Snake Eyes because they were in the same room together.
Interesting.
He's also very proficient in bladed weapons like swords and firearms as well, and he has a motorcycle. I mean, come on.
And
what's cool about that?
Yeah.
So, all right. He infiltrates things. Master of Disguise, sure. He's going to try and infiltrate Willy Wonka's chocolate factory.
Yep, he's already done it. He's on his way to kill Willy Wonka right now.
But part of that illusion that Zartan has to do, he has to blend in, right? So, what's going to happen? Oompa Loompa's going to give him a candy. He's going to eat it. He's going to inflate like a big old balloon, bro. They'll take my cane and pop him. You know, but no Zartan.
Why would Zartan just eat a random piece of candy?
He's trying to blend in. He's trying to blend in. So he has to like give the illusion.
Because Willy Wonka's chocolate is irresistible. So I could see where that might happen. Like before he finishes the job, he's like, wait, I do need to try chocolate first.
I don't know about that. Maybe one of his dreadnoughts would. I could see one of his dreadnoughts.
Monkey Wrench would for sure do that.
Yeah, for sure. But not Zartan. He's actually smart.
And he inflates, and then I take the cane, pop him, done.
But is one of his abilities to avoid candy the temptation of it?
I mean, I don't see why he couldn't avoid candy, the temptation of it. Like
I said, his ever been in the Wonka chocolate factory?
Well, no, but I can definitely see his dreadnoughts being taken out by some.
Absolutely, that'd be an easy win for me there.
They're not even in this game anymore. I already took them out. The Oompa Loompas already outsmarted them.
But it wouldn't work on Zartan. He's very focused, man. When he gets a job, he's very focused. Like as an assassin, he's very successful, very good at what he does. He's just an expert at infiltrating different organizations or whatever. You wouldn't even know he's there. He does the GI Joes all the time.
It's true. He does. I do know that he wears those masks, and I kind of like that about him. Like the whole Master of Disguise element of his character, I thought was really interesting. Always did. But everyone needs to drink, right? And if you're on the job, you still got to drink. He's going to drink some soda. Guess what? He's floating in the air. Bye bye, Zartan. Just float on out of here, bro. You can't reach me,
dude. Then he'll just use his bow. And it would like home in on Willy Wonka.
Have you seen? No, they can't control. It's like zero gravity situation, man. It's hard. They can't aim when you're floating around like that.
He doesn't need to. It would home in on Wonka's vital signs, and then it just kill him.
True.
And as he's floating,
just flips the bow, unless Hardmaster's there disguising himself as Willy Wonka.
While he's floating away, the Oompa Loompas will readily sing a song about the morality of his mistakes.
Yes, they will.
I will say, if if Zartan did lose this battle, which I don't think he would, but if he did, I definitely would love to see the Oompa Loompas sing a song about it. Oompa Loompa.
See, okay.
Willy
So-
Wonka was a jerk, and the Oompa Loompas just like found a way to make it seem like what he did was good through song and dance.
What do you get when you fire a bow?
So Zartan's floating away because he drank the soda. He drank the Kool-Aid, bro. He's floating away.
I don't remember agreeing to that, but I
So-
thought that was just a possibility that it could happen. I
And-
don't remember it being in the actual narrative yet.
Now, keep in mind, Willy Wonka knows his factory better than anyone. It's his factory, and he has a multi-directional elevator that can take him all over the place in that thing. It
The
goes
glass
up and
elevator is
down, left
cool.
and right. So
We'll
he
say
could-
the glass elevator is
it
dope.
would be, although, yeah, fist to fist. Obviously, Willy Wonka's done, but like, I think it's gonna be hard to get to Willy Wonka. That dude is he's hiding. He can navigate this situation very easily.
I mean, I get your point, but Zartan can definitely, like I said, now he can disguise himself as people, but he can blend in with his environment, with his skin. So he could just be like, he's like a perfect camouflage. Willy Wonka be walking around, taking those kids around, looking at geese that are laying eggs and chocolate or whatever it is that he's got going. And like just out of nowhere, like Zartan appears and like shoots his little bow or a gun or even a sword. Doesn't matter. Like he can use pretty much any weapon. And then
So-
like it's done. It's over. No more
Does
Willy
Willy
Wonka.
Wonka's factory, which seems like it probably will be the location of this throwdown, does it have any kind of alarm system or security to let him know when Zartan arrives?
That's interesting. Although I can't think of anything specific, I will say he does know everything that happens in his factory, even if he's not in the room. That's why when Charlie and his grandpa like drank the stuff, the fizzy drink, and they were floating around, and then later in the movie, he's like, "You didn't win because you did this," and like he wasn't there, but he knew. So I think he kind of like his factory is really an extension of his
Maybe-
being. So I feel like he would know that someone's infiltrating.
Or he's just so clever that he can read people's faces and he knew they did something.
Yes, that could be as well.
And what is the surveillance like in this factory? Like he knows everything that goes on, but I still don't know if I believe that. Does he have camera? I guess the Oompa Loompas are everywhere.
Yeah, he has Oompa Loompas, and like, I mean, that movie came out in the 1970s, so back then, no, but I feel like a modern day Wonka factory definitely would have security cameras.
So there's no defense mechanisms. Okay, gotcha.
Well, hold the phone there. Sure, there's
I'm
no
just kidding.
cameras, but like I said, he has a garden in there. He's got all these different machines that like work together. It's a magical, whatever your imagination, if he thinks of it, it's there. So he's gonna think of some cameras, and they're there, and they're watching it now.
I will point out
That's
that
a little weak.
the Ashikagi Ninja clan, their area where they train and live and all that stuff like that has been around like for like hundreds and hundreds of years. It's top security, and he was able to infiltrate that. So if he can infiltrate the security of this, ninja clan who are like super secretive, everybody, nobody even knows they exist, I'm pretty sure he can infiltrate a chocolate factory.
Hold the phone here, though.
No, wait. Okay, go ahead. I have another point.
I
when
get
you're
what
ready.
you're saying there, Kevin. I really do.
Yeah, it's a
but-
strong point. I
But
get it too.
but think about this for just a moment. Sure, Ninja Clan, Zartan, he's prepared for that. I know the thing's been around for hundreds of years, but his training is such that like he knows he's going up against some fighters, some people who are dangerous. And in the same scene that he's in, I can almost guarantee Zartan has zero experience going into candy factories, so he would be less prepared for that 100%.
I don't know if
That
that's
is a
really
little
a
bit
valid
of-
argument.
So he's gonna go into this factory, and
I
all
agree, I
all
agree.
this color, all this noise, all
Chocolate
these
water
children are going to be. You can't. Children have a mind of their own. I mean, I feel like his sensory overload. You mentioned he had some like, I just think it'd be like
I feel like the children would get under his skin.
sensory overload, and he'd have a hard time like navigating this very loud place.
Now, here's my thing though. Like,
Dude, have you ever seen the Dreadnoks? They're basically children. He deals with that every day.
okay, we'll
He'll
take
be
that one out.
okay.
But the Oompa Loompas are still an issue. But they already took out the Dreadnoks. But my thing is, how long of a prep time are we talking for this mission to assassinate Willy Wonka? Because like if he got in that factory like months ago with his master disguise and Willy Wonka didn't know, like he was disguised as Oompa Loompa, do you think he has the ability to make the Oompa Loompas descent and to train them to be little ninjas too? Or maybe just the weak ones that are getting tired of Wonka's antics, like they would start to follow him and he'd be training them in this factory.
I
But
mean, I want that
no
to
one would ever
happen.
know.
That would be awesome, little Oompa Loompa ninjas. Dude,
I think he could take out like half of them because Wonka
Dude,
probably makes fun of him and gives him a hard time all the time.
he can play the long game. Like he was when he successfully infiltrated the pit, which is the G.I. Joe's like secret base. And he was there for a good period of time, disguising himself with various Joes, causing havoc. The only reason why his mission wasn't 100% successful is because Sergeant Slaughter just randomly punched him. Because there was like he disguised himself as different Joe, and then Sergeant Slaughter walked in on him, and he's like, they're like, "Oh no, he's the real one. No, he's the one." And Sergeant Slaughter just punches. Someone was like, "How'd you know it was him?" He's like, "I didn't. I just punched one of them at random."
But
so that was like a case of like in a random action. But you know, he could just easily punch the real person. Then Zartan would have taken everybody out.
Do you remember how they made his figure like just a couple millimeters taller than all the other figures? Sergeant Slaughter.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, so
what
I'm saying is Zartan has the ability to be patient to get the job done.
Yeah, for sure.
And the way the Oompa Loompas get treated, I mean, a lot of them are not going to ever go away from Willy Wonka's, you know, they're going to be loyal to him to the end, but he does treat them a little bit like jerks sometimes, I think, because he makes fun of their height a lot, doesn't he? And he makes them sing dumb little songs. So I think some of them
I don't think he makes them sing the songs.
So
I think it's just part of it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they just do that on their own.
Oh, all right. Well, all right, Kevin. I was trying to find a way where we could have two sides of Oompa Loompas fighting each other, but if you don't want to do that, that's fine. I'll take that off the table.
But why would an Oompa Loompa not want to be a ninja? Dude, think about it. If an Oompa Loompa joined the Dreadnoks, he could have like, you know, eat all the candy and stuff all he wants all the time. It wouldn't have to worry
the Oompa
about
Loompas don't really eat it though. They're like smarter than that. Like they are really intelligent beings, but I don't remember seeing them being like crazy for candy. I mean, they work there, so they have to have some self-control. Where I thought
that was the whole reason why they work there is because Willy Wonka said that they can eat as much chocolate as they want as long as they work at the factory.
Yeah, but they have
because somebody's actually read the book years ago, so I know what I'm talking
about. So hold on. Okay, they have
I don't know how much there's to hold on to.
They have a healthy relationship with the chocolate. Okay. So like they can be around it all day and still work and resist temptation, and they can stir it up. They have a healthy. They can say no when they need to say no.
I'm just saying, if my choice was to work for some crazy guy for chocolate as payment, and that is it, or some guy who
slave labor,
or some guy who will give me that chocolate anyways, and on top of that, train me to be a ninja, you know, let me fight and actually give me real money as well, I'm gonna pick that guy.
Hold on though. You said give me chocolate anyways, but what chocolate is Zartan giving them? It's not Wonka chocolate, bro. It's probably some like cheap, like novelty chocolate that's not even good.
Dude, if he took out Willy Wonka, he'd just be like, he could just disguise himself as Willy Wonka, and then he would own.
But he wouldn't be able to. I guess he could just. The Oompa Loompas would know that it wasn't Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
Even if
obviously, but I'm saying for the general public, but they could still live in their chocolate factory.
If Wonka's not there, who's gonna? The Oompa Loompas. Sure, I guess they could carry on for a while, but I don't think he could. I think people would be able to tell that Zartan was running the factory after a while.
And going back to
the chocolate would not be the same quality.
But I'm saying, who would give that?
Zartan, like his skill is not in
the
skill is not in chocolate, though.
No, but he would give that promise to him. He's like, "Hey, look, I'm going to kill. After he kills Willy Wonka, he's like, hey, you can still work here. I'll pretend I'm Willy Wonka, and then you still get all the chocolate you want, and on top of that, I'll give you some money, and you can help me out. And then, dude, I want the Oompa Loompas to join Cobra. Okay, that's what's going on here.
So, going back to the
Oompa Loompa.
I already made this point, but I want to stress it again.
Wait, would they have to change their song, like to like a Cobra version?
No, they're Oompa Loompas, dude. They sing.
I'm saying if they worked for Cobra, like what kind of song would they have?
Oh, they'd figure out something.
Cobra Lobra, bippity doo.
Nice try. That could be it. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, Wonka, I think, would really know when Zartan came in, even if he's playing a long game. He has this like weird, like I said, the factory's an extension of himself. Like he is their surveillance. Yeah, so I think
So he
Wonka.
has some kind of supernatural powers when it comes to this.
I think so.
With
I
this
feel like-
factory. I'll let you have that.
So having to geez, I can't talk. Having to fight in the factory itself kind of gives him an advantage, though.
No, because the factory is part of him. Willy Wonka and the chocolate factory. It's actually Charlie and the chocolate factory, but it's like it's part of who he is.
But doesn't he?
But
leave it,
can
does
he take the
ever-
factory with him? So like
he
if
does
they were
leave it once in a while, doesn't he?
like for an example, if they were to fight somehow have this battle on Mustafar again, would he be able to take this factory with him? Like, is it portable?
No,
'Cause
it's not a portable factory.
I'd like to think that it was, but it's not. Okay,
I don't
It's not a
think it's-
portable factory. It doesn't really matter because
He probably
you
has
know-
like one that he pulls around the modern version probably has one he pulls around in a trailer, like hooked
I
up
think
to.
in the new one, I think he just have like a little cart, so to speak.
like
But-
like his street vendor version of it.
all
that's
right.
fine. Zartan would disguise himself as another street vendor, and he would have a cart as well, but would actually secretly be
Okay.
like because he disguises equipment as well,
Well,
through like holographic technology. So he could
only
have
way I could.
a street
okay.
car that's in actuality like a tank. I mean,
Well, there's not really
But-
a streetcar. I don't think that's happening here.
Does Zartan have? I've been saving this one now. Does Zartan have a machine that shrinks people to the size of candy bars? No, he does not. Wonka does have said machine. He could shrink Zartan to the size of a candy bar, step on him. Oompa Loompas
So-
could step on him.
My question, that's pretty good. But did the Oompa Loompas used to be full-grown people, and Wonka put them in that machine like a jerk?
No.
And now they're small.
I don't think so. I've not seen the new movie because it's not out yet. But from the trailer, I get the impression that he didn't create the Oompa Loompas.
Okay.
It's
yeah, no, they're always small. He found them at like this place. He was looking for chocolate, a source of
On
chocolate. and he-
Amazon or something.
Yeah, something like that. And he found like this place, Oompa Loompa Land, I believe is what it was called. And they were there, and basically he's that was their delicacy. That's what they ate was like these chocolate.
I do remember this now.
So then he's like, hey, if you work this factory, you'll get all the cocoa beans you want. So basically he's going in. Willy Wonka is abusing the Oompa Loompas and using their addiction to the cocoa bean as a means of payment. And that's just, I mean, obviously there's no union there, but there should be because those dudes are getting they're kind of getting a short end of the stick. He's getting all that money himself. There's no work.
Short end of the stick.
He's got no he doesn't pay his workers appropriately. Like the safety, and don't to mention the safety.
Let's not bring in
that
his
factory.
we're
moral
not here to
terrible.
talk about the ethics of the Wonka
I
Chocolate
agree
Company.
that his
Okay,
ethics.
I'm just saying.
Like,
Hold on.
that's
I
not
agree
what we're
his
talking
ethics are
about.
not very great. His morals.
He's not a
but
murderer
Zartan
though, like
doesn't really have
Zartan.
much. Zartan doesn't really have much going on with his moral standards either.
No,
So,
but Zartan, what I'm saying is Zartan's smart. He could promise Oompa Loompas so much more.
well, they're both. I'm not debating their intellect. I think intellect-wise, they go toe to toe here. They're both pretty smart and clever. I'll give him that. I could see Willy Wonka, like if this is happening. Well, go ahead. What else? Any of you other?
That's my main. I have
Other
I have a couple quotes I'd like to share, but I have all my points.
Yeah,
Kevin,
I
you
don't,
have anything
I
else?
don't have any more points now.
So
Okay. Do you have quotes, both of you, or no?
I have some quotes.
All right. I'll let Kevin do the quotes first
All right.
because I think Stevens will be pretty funny and probably useless. Go ahead.
Well, I'll start off with one of my favorite Zartan quotes. It's not particularly a good one. I just thought it was funny in the when we were watching the movie. You remember the G.I. Joe movie? The
Oh
animated
yeah,
one?
I do.
When they show him that big giant like ruby or whatever, and he's like, a gem that size answers all of my questions.
Yes, I do remember that.
that makes him sound kind of dumb.
It does. What if it was a fake gem? Go ahead.
So
No public
I wanted to
money.
throw that in there. So let's see. One of quote is still some life in you, hey? Nothing a few swift kicks won't remedy.
Kick those Oompa Loompas in the face. Keep going. More.
I was gonna give Steven a chance to do a quote.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, let's go toe to toe battle.
The
Back and forth.
snozberries taste like snozberries.
All right.
But
Oh.
that's a dumb one, sure. But check this.
I don't know what I'm gonna do with that one.
Check this, bro. This is how I feel about this throwdown, and I hope our listeners feel this way too, or maybe they do not feel this way. But quote: "The suspense is terrible. I hope it will last." End quote.
That is pretty savage. Let's see.
Go ahead.
You got another
I
one,
can be
Kevin?
I can be anyone, anywhere. You will never know that you are talking. You will never know who you're talking to unless I wish it.
Quote, "Oh, you should never doubt what nobody is sure about." End quote. That piggybacks right off of yours.
He does have some very intellectual quotes here. Willy Wonka does. Go ahead. Any more?
I got two more. So,
my strength is quite inhuman.
Okay. All right.
A little nonsense now and then is relished by the wisest man. That sounds like a fortune cookie right there.
It does, yeah.
And
Let's see.
it makes me sound like I want to hang out with Willy Wonka at a party. But go ahead. Your turn.
The laser core itself is entirely in my possession, a prize that I offer to the highest bidder. G.I. Joe, Cobra, the world belongs to one of you, the one with the greatest bank account.
Where did both those groups? Well, G.I. Joe might got it from the government. Where did Cobra get their bank account? I want to know.
You know, I'm not.
It's like a multi-billion-dollar organization, man. All the stuff they have.
Cobra Commander is just very, very charismatic. We're not talking about Cobra Commander, but he started off as a used car salesman, and then he was able to like kind of in a way brainwash people to sort of support him, kind of like pyramid scheme. A lot of his money, their money comes from pyramid schemes.
Gotcha. But he couldn't brainwash Zartan, huh?
No, you could not. Zartan is an independent thinker.
All right. You have one more quote.
My last quote. Quote, "We are the music makers. We are the dreamers of dreams."
I do like that
End
one.
quote. That's a
because you're a musician.
No, that's a quote I've heard for a long time.
I will say Zartan is very savage. So he's like he's talking to his dreadnoughts. He said, "Take the swamp cruiser and neutralize the intruders, and don't come back if you fail." He's saying, hey, if you fail, I don't even need you anymore.
So he's a slave driver too.
Why don't these dreadnoughts rise up in rebellion against him?
He was part of their rebellion. They rose up against their leader when previously, and they're like, "Hey man, we're having a problem with our leader. He's kind of a jerk. Can you take his place?" And Zartan's like, "Yeah, man, I got this."
Well, that is my offense and defense for Willy Wonka. I think he's super smart, very engineering mindset. He's got some tricks up his sleeves, and he's very self-aware and perceptive of what's happening around him and in his factory.
Yeah, and he could trip Zartan with a cane, and Zartan could fall in chocolate and drown.
Yes, I just picture.
Go ahead.
You remember in Predator when Dutch covers himself in all that mud before he fights the Predator?
Yeah.
I picture Tarzan covering himself in chocolate. It's just in the same way.
Did you say Tarzan?
Not Zartan.
You did say Tarzan.
I did say Tarzan.
I will say Willy Wonka does have some tricks up his sleeve, but I think overall, just because Zartan, I mean, it's his profession to assassinate people. That's what he does, and he's very good at it. I think, given his combat abilities, given his weaponry, not to mention his ability to disguise himself, not just with as other people, but also to blend in with his environment. I just think Willy Wonka won't see him coming, as regards to how great his chocolate factory is as far as identifying people or whatnot. I don't think they can handle it, and Zartan would take him out.
My question.
He would give all the chocolate to his dreadnoughts, and they would be happy.
They're already dead, man. The Wonkas, the Oompa Loompas took them out. I'm not giving you that one. They took those guys out. But listen, if Zartan is so smart, and I mean, I think I pretty much have my decision here already. I just have to hear a little bit about this. If Zartan is so smart, and he's master plan, whatever, why does he link himself up with such an idiot in Cobra Commander?
Because he's got money. He goes where the money is, man. That's true. I saw shown with that quote. Like, he doesn't care. Like, he had access to this equipment at both G.I. Joe and Cobra wanted. And he's like, "Hey, I'll give it to whoever pays me more money. I don't care."
Who's so smart, why would he spend his time with the Cobra? And also, I don't know, like, has he ever actually won anything in the long run?
Not in the cartoons, no. In the comic books, he has.
And I want to piggyback off of that and just make one more little last statement about. I didn't even think of this till just now. You said he goes where the money is. That's fair. Wonka, his chocolate, not about the money at all. It is a moral. It's like that's who he is. He put all the stuff together to find the next person, CEO of his company. Not for the money he's not trying to sell it to the highest bidder. He's doing it because it's like a moral mission thing for him.
Wonka it's
more than cash for this guy.
Wonka has no business talking morals, dude.
I'm not saying
he really does.
All the time.
Chocolate is and he doesn't go where the money is. I'm just saying that. Just pointing that out. He goes where the chocolate is.
And he puts his children in that through some terrible tests. And even though those kids were all jerks, except for Charlie, he puts them through some terrible experiences. And he's got slave labor all over. Just feeds his workers chocolate. So I don't know how much moral there is there. He is smart and clever.
Who is a joke? Kind of a jerk though? is Grandpa Joe.
That's the one that goes in the factory, right?
Yeah, dude,
Not the
he's
other
been
one.
he's been laying in bed like for years and years and years. It's like, I can't move. I'm stuck in this bed. As soon as
All
someone's like,
four of his
hey,
grandparents have.
yeah, as soon as someone's like, hey, you want to go to a chocolate factory? He's like, you know what? Suddenly I'm like capable of doing things. Like, what's that, man? He's a lazy piece of. Anyway,
No wonder why they're so broke, man. When everyone just lays in a bed all day long.
On the same bed.
All four of them. All right. Well, here's my thing.
The
I
suspense
feel
is
like
killing
if
me.
I feel like if Zartan, I'm not denying that he couldn't get in there. He could get in there. He's a master of disguise. I do feel like I could see a situation where he was in the factory and Willy Wonka knew it and could feel his presence, and somehow the Oompa Loompas found out how he was. Like, I think it would be tougher than Zartan thinks to take down Wonka inside the factory, because the factory is an extension of Wonka, or at least he knows everything that's going down in there. And I don't know, it'd be tough for him to do some kind of long-term spy gig in there. So I don't think it'd be as easy as Kevin makes it out for Zartan to just walk in there and take down everybody. Do you agree?
Yes,
I mean, I guess
do.
to some extent, maybe not, but I think he'd be well prepared for it. Also, like, well, I don't know if we can necessarily use the factory because it is like a location. It gives him a home advantage.
I'm already using it. Sorry, I decided that as the judge. But I still feel like, I mean, Steven, Wonka has martial arts. Not Wonka. Wonka does not have martial arts.
That would be awesome.
He does have a cane. But Zartan has martial arts training. He's a genius. He can disguise himself whatever he wants. He has infiltrated some pretty high security areas before. And I know the factory does have high security and they keep pretty tight wrap on who gets in there. But I do feel like Zartan could get in there.
You need a golden ticket to get in there, bro.
I don't know.
Does Zartan have a golden ticket?
And I do think if like all these throwdowns, it could go, even this one could go either way. Like if Willy Wonka did somehow trip Zartan strategically, Zartan could probably fall into a never-ending pool of chocolate or something. Or if he could somehow get Zartan to eat the chocolate, because like a piece of chocolate that size answers all my questions. And then he eats it.
Wait till you saw the gobstopper, bro. Oh man.
A jawbreaker, that's
Jawbreaker, that's what it is. Jawbreaker.
No, it's gobstopper, but that's what a gobstopper is. So I do think that if Zartan's not on his toes 100%, that he would get tricked into eating a giant piece of chocolate, or
I would love to see that. I'm not gonna lie.
I think that like Zartan would have to be very keen and very, like, his senses, he'd have to be prepared for anything. Which, even though you said all these things he infiltrates, sure, they're high security ninja facilities with masters of hard in them, but whatever, like hard people. But he's still like, this one, I think he'd have to be a little more smart and just prepared for anything, because you don't expect a cane to be able to take you out, or a piece of candy. So you'd have to be ready for it. But I'm sorry, Steven.
That's fine.
Zartan. I don't think he has a chance to stand up to Willy has a chance to stand up against Zartan when it comes to an actual battle. I think, there's lots of ways Willy could get rid of him, but when it comes to just a straight throwdown, I'm gonna have to go with Zartan on this, I think.
It's fair and fine. I accept defeat.
Can we all agree though that this would be awesome to see, and I would not be disappointed if Willy Wonka won.
I still feel like he could win in several ways.
In the factory, he's got it. Outside the factory, he's done.
No, I think
that's how I feel.
Like I said, in the factory, he probably would have it. But I feel like I don't know.
I approach this with the factory. I know you talk about location. The factory is sort of like one of his abilities, is one of his weapons. That's kind of how I used it when I did my preparation. But it's okay. I accept lots of.
That's what I'm saying. Like Zartan could easily get distracted in there.
Yeah,
even he could, I bet. But the disguise thing and that, I just feel like he would have a way to get the jump on Willy Wonka. So
it's all right. I accept. This was a good throwdown though.
It would be tough, tougher than most location.
Thanks for being a judge, Dave. Hey, I had fun today. I know I lost, but I still had fun.
No, this was I was not expecting Willy Wonka for sure. I wasn't quite sure how I was going to handle that one.
So I've had fun with all of our throwdowns. Where could we listen to all the other ones we recorded?
You could listen to all the other ones on our podcast, which is located in several locations.
Yeah,
It's
that's
located in several
Spotify.
locations.
Spotify, Apple
Apple.
Spotify,
Podcasts,
Apple,
Yes.
yeah.
Google Podcasts.
Yes, indeed.
We're gonna get on some more.
Hey, whatever your imagination says, what's that song that Willie sings?
Oh yeah,
Anywhere you can imagine, our podcast is. Just all you have to do is click that play button.
it could be in your head. You're going to sleep at night. Just imagine the Brothers Born. Unlikely Throwdown. There it is. Help you get to sleep. No, actually, I don't know if I want our podcast associated with you.
The
falling
podcast
asleep,
man
but-
can.
Podcast man can. I mean, you could easily just go to the
Where
website
can
as
you
well.
hear throwdowns?
The website. Oh yeah, Brothers
That are
Born
very
Media.
unlikely. What?
brothersbornmedia.com. Check us out there. Then if you have an idea for a character, in fact, we had a submission a while ago of Shenlong Gundam. But if you have any ideas for characters, submit it on our website or email us at brothersbornpodcast@gmail.com. And it'd be so great. And it'd be super great if you'd leave us a good review on your podcatcher. Like, let people know about the Brothers Born. That'd be awesome.
That would be
great.
awesome. Now, for this next round of throwdowns, to make them even more exciting, could we do another stipulation thing? or
Yes.
no?
Yes,
I think Kevin's
actually,
got some.
Since
I
I'm
believe
the
I'm-
judge, can I do this stipulation, or do you want?
no, it would be me because I'm going to be the judge next.
Oh, but I had just thought of a good one right
You'll
now.
have it-
All
you'll
right,
have a
I'll save
chance.
it. I'll save it for my turn.
All right.
Go ahead.
And I think you'll like mine. All right. So both of you will, because we were talking about Zartan and his crazy bow and all that stuff like that. So for the next throwdown between you two, your character has to be some type of archer. He can use a bow and arrow. It could be a crossbow. It could be, I'll even accept a slingshot as a weapon if you want.
David.
So yes, you can use, you have to use an archer.
So here's my thing. I have a question about that. You can be an archer, but like if they have other abilities as well, are they allowed to use those in the throwdown, or can they only use arrows?
I
'Cause that
feel
would
like
be kind of
I feel like they probably could. Their
Okay.
primarily focus has to be the bow and arrow, but of course, if they can use a sword or something like that, that definitely could come into play. Otherwise, it would be a really boring battle, just two guys shooting arrows at each other over and over again.
Well, that's why I was just making sure. I figured.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
There's a lot
But
of options.
they have to have some sort of bow type weapon or slingshot, like I said, as their arsenal, in their arsenal.
Excellent.
Okay.
I like it. There's a higher probability that Dave and I will choose the same character in this situation.
No, okay, then no Hawkeye, because I know that's what you guys are both thinking.
Actually, I was
not.
I
Dang
was
it.
thinking him because he does have a lot of sweet arrows, but then I thought, no, that's too obvious. So I wasn't going to do it. But I think he would be able to win because of all his arrow abilities.
All right, I'll think of somebody.
All right, so I'm using Hawkeye. It's settled.
All right, everybody.
No, I'm not going to use him.
I just said no Hawkeye because I just like I think of two characters that like you guys would likely go to, and he was one of them.
What's the other one?
No, kid, don't say it. 'Cause I don't want
Yeah,
that
I'm
one
not,
to go
I
away.
won't say it. I won't say it.
All right, tell us later.
Well, yeah, thanks for listening, everybody. We'll catch you next time.
All right. I think I was muted when I said Master of Hard, Maker of Swords. I think I was.